this is AC Milan Talk. We are ready for a new weekly episode with all the going song of our favorite team, both on and off the pitch. But first of all, let me introduce my two friends. First, Sheridan Bird. Hi, Sheridan.
Hi, Licia. Hi, everybody at home. Great to be back.
And welcome also to Adriano Del Monte. Hi, Adriano. What about Australia?
Ciao, Licia. Ciao, Sheridan. Nice and warm over here still. I've heard it's not too warm over there, so still enjoying some summer, but all going well.
Well done, guys. Today, plenty of talking points. So let's start with Stefano Pioli's side with the focus on our men's first team. Three goals made in France for AC Milan against Roma in a very particular moment of this season, but it was a very positive note for the full 3 points in this table. And first of all, against a particular opponent against which AC Milan dominated the game, Sheridan.
Yeah, it was a great result. We knew it would be tense. Last week we spoke about it, both teams in a difficult position. But Mr. Pioli got his decisions right. The players played to the occasion and played well and managed to get the better, convincingly, of a very awkward, difficult team, AS Roma. So it was a great result, and the French connection, as you said, was fabulous. Some really good goals as well, which we'll see very shortly. But it's exactly what Milan needed, and it was a good way to kick-start, let's say, the second half of the season.
Of course. Adriano, what about the strength found in the match against Roma? Maybe the same strength that is necessary until the end of this season?
Absolutely, Licia. Probably as important as a win as we've seen all season. It was a time when you could see by the standings a nice gap now between Milan in third and the chasing pack for Champions League places for next season. Obviously, that win ensures another victory. That's 3 in a row now in Serie A. So the timing of this victory against an opponent, as we discussed last week, there have been some really tense battles, a lot of late goals in recent head-to-head meetings. But this was a special match, and all 3 goals special for different reasons. Of course, Adli there with his first goal for the club. Wonderful, wonderful finish. I just love that dummy, how he dropped the shoulder, and a wonderful finish, the emotion there as well. Good to see his teammates equally as happy as he was there. And of course, Giroud again, Theo Hernandez again, these players stepping up. Care there with a very nice assist. Giroud doing what he does best. And he keeps scoring, and it's been the story of his time as a footballer, but he comes up with the very important goals for this club, and also assists. A wonderful assist there for Theo Hernandez. Again, we know what he's capable of, and he may be a defender, but he's always capable of scoring a wonderful goal. And that's just another one, a very important one. And as I said, I think that's as important at 3 points as we've seen for some time. So really important now going into this second half of the season.
The dancer Hernandez, so we have already seen.
The celebration was great because I think they were doing 2 different dances at the same time, just showing that, you know, as long as you're organised on the pitch, it doesn't matter if the celebrations are not coordinated. But no, Teo's goal was a really good shot. The goalkeeper did well to get out of the way because it would have knocked him over. And as Adriano said, the goal for Adli was wonderful. He's really come on this season and done really well, and it's great for him to get his first goal and a classy goal too as well. So all round, a wonderful evening for the Rossoneri.
A magic atmosphere in San Siro on Sunday night. After the game, our head coach Stefano Pioli appeared very satisfied and commented with Milan TV cameras on his last performance. He talked obviously about the match and also about Yacine Adli growth in Rossonero. Let's listen.
Abbiamo fatto una bella partita sicuramente, l'abbiamo cominciata bene, abbiamo lavorato tanto anche in fase difensiva con un avversario che ha mosso palla più di quello che pensavamo, quindi ci ha costretto anche a correre tanto, a scivolare tanto anche sugli esterni, però siamo stati di squadra compatta, volenterosa e anche con la qualità necessaria per segnare 3 gol, quindi sicuramente una buona partita e un buon inizio di girone di ritorno e soprattutto un buon riscatto dopo la delusione di mercoledì. Credo che le sue 2 ultime prestazioni, quella di Empoli e quella di questa stasera, stiano dimostrando il suo impegno, stiano dimostrando la sua qualità e la assoluta volontà e anche convinzione di poter essere un giocatore importante quello lì. È chiaro che dovrà fare ancora degli step, ma È un giocatore con personalità, un giocatore con intelligenza, sta lavorando bene in entrambe le fasi, addirittura è riuscito anche a essere efficace in fase conclusiva, quindi sicuramente è un'ottima partita dalla quale prende degli spunti importanti per la sua crescita.
Looking to the future is the key for success, believing in rossoneri talent, skills and growth like the one that Yacine Adli is living in Rossonero Sheridan.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Pioli said it perfectly there. He works well in both phases, so he helps the team out defensively when you need to get back and protect the penalty area. He helps out in attack by creating for others, and he has added to that goal scoring with that, as shown by that wonderful finish. So he's developing all the time. It took him a bit of time to get used to Serie A, to get used to life in Italy, to get used to calcio, but he's getting there, and we knew it would take time. Some players adapt straight away, others need a bit longer, but he's getting there, and it's very great. It's very useful, rather, for Mr. Pioli's squad to have someone like Adli, who is just beginning to show his true worth.
At the beginning of this episode, Adriano, we defined this game French-made because the 3 goals scored were made by Yacine Adli, Theo Hernandez and Olivier Giroud. Our number 9 reached the 10 goals scored in the 3 seasons in Rossonero since the famous summer in which he arrived in the 2021. It's an incredible statistic for him and for our club, Adriano.
It is, and adding to that statistic, I also read a statistic that's the first time a Milan player has done that in 3 consecutive seasons since Pato many years ago. So, look, Olivier Giroud, I said earlier, he has been a quality player for the entirety of his career, irrespective of which club he's played at. A wonderful player, a really, really important player. We know how decisive he's been for this club. And the 3 French players, again, I mentioned off the top, all different goals, but credit must be shown because it's the character that the 3 of them have shown, not only in this match, but over the course of the campaign. Giroud has been so important with his goals. I said, he just tends to pop up at the right time. He's got a great connection with Theo Hernandez, who we know his quality. And now with Adli getting involved as well, he's been very patient, as Sheridan said, biding his time, and now he's really come in and starting to make his mark. So, look, I'm sure these highlights will be plenty more to come for Giroud and the other French players in the second half of the campaign. But more goals, I'm sure there'll be more points ahead for the Rossoneri. So no one's complaining that Giroud is flying yet again.
Olivier Giroud is also leadership figure for the rest of the team, not only on the pitch, but also in the locker rooms, Sheridan.
Yeah, certainly, because he's done so much. He's won so much. He's won the World Cup. He's won the Champions League and the Europa League with Chelsea. So he knows how to win. He knows how to get it over the line, if you prefer. So he's a figurehead in the dressing room, and the other players look up to him. He's a nice guy, by all accounts as well. Easy to get on with, relaxed, doesn't take himself too seriously. And some of those goals there were classic poachers' goals, centre-forwards' goals. And it's worth remembering that for a long time, the number 9 shirt at Milan was difficult. And after Filippo Inzaghi, several players felt the weight of it and they struggled. But Olivier Giroud has, you could say, taken the number 9 shirt and he's made it his own, and he's doing very well in it. So it just goes, it's a testament to his ability, but also to his character and his impact. Très bien.
Looking to the future and to the weekend, our Rossoneri now face a tough trip to Udine on Saturday night, a ground where we haven't won since November 2020. A lot of time. Adriano.
A lot of time. That feels like a very long time ago. And Udinese, a team, Lucia and Sheridan, I think, having a very strange season. They're tough to beat. They've had a number of draws over the course of the campaign, but a team that are really hard to beat, always at home, and we've seen that consistently over the years. So look, I'm sure Mr. Pioli, what I have been impressed with Mr. Pioli in the last month particularly is the turnaround, because of course remember that, well, it was that period in November around the latter stage of the Champions League group stage. The defensive crisis there was, obviously a couple of new faces have already come in, and just slowly but surely this team is building. So I like this test at this time at a venue where obviously the club haven't won at for some time, as you touched on, Leach. But look, again, given what we've seen in recent weeks, obviously I like the output of goals, the increase in goals. Now that's 3 goals in back-to-back matches. With respect to Udinese, this is another match which must be targeted as a 3 points. So I'm sure that's the message from Pioli to his players. And look, another test, but another exciting one, and hopefully all 3 points this weekend.
Sheridan, what about the difficulties against Udinese, and what about the period that our next opponents are living in this season?
They're a very tough team to break down. I've got a lot of respect for their head coach, their manager, Gabriele Cioffi. He plays them in a 3-5-1-1 formation, which means they are a very solid block. They're hard to break down. They do concede goals, though, so they give you a chance, but their last match was a creditable draw with Fiorentina. So they're difficult to beat, but as Adriano pointed out correctly, they draw a lot, so they don't win as many as perhaps they would like. But they have to be respected, and they're very well organised. They'll be very solid at home. So I think Milan's game changers, as is the popular phrase these days, attacking players, will have to be on form to make something happen, because there is Mr. Cioffi. He's doing very well. It's been a tough season, and I think that Milan will have to be very wary of 1 or 2 of their attackers, like Roberto Pereira, the Argentinian trequartista. Number 10 is very skillful. They've also got the French veteran Florian Thauvin from ex of Marseille, who has got very quick feet. So it will be difficult. They will present certainly a challenge in terms of being stubborn and hard to break down. But Mr. Pioli, within his squad, has got the players to get through, hopefully.
Of course. But now I would like to introduce a focus on our number 11, Christian Pulisic, who after he became the December Serie A player after his incredible performance with AC Milan, he also became the 2023 USA soccer male player for the 4th time in his incredible career. Before the comment by Sheridan and Adriano, I would like to show you his reaction for this incredible result for him, for AC Milan club. So let's listen to his words together.
Yeah.
This U.S. Men's Soccer Player of the Year, and the winner is Christian Pulisic.
Winning it for the 4th time, tying and dominant for the most ever.
Puli, 6-6.
Spectacular from Christian Pulisic.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, sounds good. It's an honor to win this award again, of course, for the 4th time. It was an incredible season for me. I always enjoy playing with the national team and, winning more trophies with the national team. And yeah, of course, coming here to AC Milan, it's been just a really exciting year. And yeah, I've enjoyed it so much. So I'm really grateful to win an award like this. I mean, like you said, any of those guys could have won it, but not even just those guys. Names outside of that as well, who have been putting in such strong performances at a club level and with the national team. I'm really proud of how far this group has come, and looking forward to some really big events coming up in the next years.
It was a surprise for Christian Pulisic, so congratulations to our sonner number 11. It was an incredible season for him, as we already heard.
Yeah, he's the face of American football, you would say, in Italy, and he's doing very well. First season in Serie A. As we spoke earlier, it's not easy to adapt to calcio. It's a different challenge, it's a different set of problems, if you will, if you're an attacker. But he's done very well, and this club wants to build its image, expand its appeal in America. And it's you can't have a better player, if you want to do that, than Christian Pulisic, who's had some really good moments, scored some important goals. Model professional, down to earth, calm, trains well, plays well. A credit to his nation, to America. And I think everyone's really pleased with the way he's adapted to playing for Milan.
Adriano, also because he is showing himself capable of becoming a point of reference for AC Milan club, AC Milan team, and for AC Milan fans with the great statistics in this Serie A.
Absolutely. It's not easy to come to Serie A, Sheridan said, in a big club like Milan here and start as well as Pulisic has started. But so far, so good. But obviously still some steps to take. It's been a really exciting few months for him at the club. Obviously, it is a really exciting time for the United States in terms of international football, hosting so many big tournaments over there in coming years, and including, of course, the 2026 World Cup. So really for his country, it is an exciting time, but hopefully more of this to come in the Rossoneri shirt, and hopefully starting this weekend, because we saw the images before the reverse fixture, Milan Udinese at San Siro. That was only a couple of months ago. I was there pitch side. It was a very, very wet night, and there was a Pereira penalty, which was the difference. It was a 1-0 finish. Pulisic didn't play that night. If memory serves him well, he was out with a groin injury. So he'll get his first chance against Udinese in Serie A this weekend, and hopefully plenty more goals for him to come this weekend and for the remainder of the campaign.
With Christian Pulisic, we close our focus on men's first team. Let's move on with our women. The Rossoneri fall in unluckily defeat against the Bianconera against Juventus women, Sheridan.
Yeah, look, the headline was a victory, a 2-1 victory for Juventus. However, there were signs of improvement. There were signs of progress, the green shoots of recovery, you could say, that Milan are getting, they're just making progress under the new boss, and it will take time. But as I say, look beyond the result, look beyond the 2-1 scoreline. I think that the women are beginning to absorb the ideas of the new boss. They're beginning to adapt to what he wants, to his requirements, and it will be up from here. I firmly believe that.
And not satisfying results despite an encouraging performance. Adriano, what do you think?
Encouraging performances, they have been the case, but now obviously we've seen the standings. It is the time now for the points, because we know that cut-off at the halfway mark of the season, where the league table will split in two, 6 points behind Cornwall there, obviously some ground to make up, and there are some winnable matches, and hopefully off the positive efforts that we did see against the likes of Juventus and Roma, it can lead to maximum points in the more winnable fixtures ahead. Again, we discussed last week, but Milan against Juventus in recent seasons probably haven't had enough to show for the quality that they've put in against the four-time league champion here. Saskova scoring against her former club for Milan, but there was one late goal that ultimately was the difference, and that means that the spirited performance at the end, you come away with nothing. But I am excited by what's to come, because there are some winnable matches ahead, obviously still in the cup as well, and so Como and Pomigliano and Fiorentina to come, hopefully in some of those fixtures maximum points, and get back into that top 5 before that cut-off later in the campaign.
But now a fundamental fixture, a great opportunity, AC Milan versus Como women, and it seems like a cross round for this season of our Rossoneri, Sheridan.
Yeah, Como are currently above Milan Femminile. However, they're in poor form. Como haven't won in their last 5 matches. So Milan will naturally look at this as a chance to gather some of those points that Adriano was correctly talking about. It's now time to turn good performances into points. And Como, as I say, they're struggling. It won't be easy, obviously, because they're a quality team. That's why they're above Milan. But I think they're entering something of a difficult phase, and it's now time for Milan, who we hope, we believe, are in the ascendancy, to start turning those performances into victories.
Adriano, your comment on this next fixture?
This is a must-win, Licha. This is Como one place above. Just some simple mathematics, Sheridan. We know what will happen here. Failure to pick up maximum points here will make it very difficult to get into that top 5. So this is, I would be treating this like a mini final this weekend, because really those top 5 hopes are on the line, and certainly it's a must-win.
That's all for our women's team, so good luck to our Rossoneri. Let's move on with our under-19s. The Rossoneri's first half of the season ended with a draw. Bonomi scored in the final minutes of the game, and Abate was followed in the sense of a great iconic figure like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Sheridan.
That's right. Zlatan Ibrahimovic was watching the youngsters play on, and a bit like the women's match, you look at the result, you don't get the full story. A 1-1 draw against Torino might not seem like the greatest result possible. However, we've spoken previously about how the Primavera have lost many of their star players temporarily to the first team squad. So it was a difficult match. Toro are a very good team as well, the Primavera, on form. So a 1-1 draw, I actually think, was a good result. Mr. Abate's side played well under difficult conditions. There is Zlatan Ibrahimovic keeping warm. It's not sunny in northern Italy, Adriano. It might be sunny in Australia, but looking at Zlatan Ibrahimovic, there is enough evidence that we are not in the same boat as you, Adriano.
I'm certainly not dressed like that at the moment, but what a boost for these young players to see, to know that Zlatan's there watching on, must give them a real buzz. And look, again, we know obviously the result, not what they wanted, but against a tough opponent, as you correctly said. But also, again, without so many regulars due to the current situation in the first team, that other great opportunity for some extra players to get extra minutes that they otherwise perhaps wouldn't at this stage of the season. So, look, I think all round a good time of the campaign. They're still in a good run of form, good results, players getting minutes. I see a lot of positivity on the horizon for this side now going into the next couple of months, and plenty still Sheridan to take away from this match as well.
After the draw against Torino, but it's already time for a new action, a new fixture in this Primavera Uno, because looking to the weekend, there will be the clash against Atalanta, a very tough match, considering also the table in which now we're sitting in the third place after Inter and Roma.
Yes, Atalanta, or Milan beat Atalanta earlier on in the season, 3-1. It was a good victory. Atalanta are a team that score a lot of goals, however. If you look at their goals for in the table, they seem to score a lot, but they also give you a chance, they concede a few. So again, it'll be, I think Milan would expect to win, having won the first meeting 3-1 and finding some form themselves. But I think it will be a tricky match. But some of the attacking players, particularly the wingers for Mr. Abate, have been so good this season that I don't want to jinx it, but I would expect Milan to have too much for Atalanta. But it's away from home, so it will be a tough fixture.
What should we expect, Adriano?
I don't want to jinx it either. Sheridan's touched on it very well. I'm hopeful that they will respond. Look, every match is tricky. A lot of young quality coming through the ranks in Italian football, and this is where the best of the best go at it. But I think we have seen now some of these players get these extra minutes I touched on, and I think we can see them respond and pick up an important 3 points.
So with the focus on our under-19, so we come to the end of this episode. Thanks, as always, to my two friends, to Adriano Del Monte. Hi, Adriano. Thank you. See you next week. Enjoy Australia.
All my pleasure. Thank you, I will.
Thanks also to Sheridan Bird.
My pleasure. Thanks to you. Thanks to everyone for watching. Adriano, enjoy your barbecue.
Thank you.
Dear Rossoneri, thanks for following us, and see you in the next episode of our AC Milan Talk. Ciao.